Good morning. I am bringing you morning gentle yoga. This is our 6 a.m. class, takes place every single week. And starting right on the dot at 6 a.m. as I promised, my student that joins me, he'll come in when he comes in. The waiting room is open. Welcome to my home studio. Go ahead and take a gentle seat. It's helpful first thing in the morning when you begin your meditative practice that you might have something to sit on. I have a bolster that I sit on. You can also choose to sit on a set of blocks. Or if you want, you can also choose a nice thick blanket. This one actually isn't very thick, so when I want to sit on it, I just kind of, fold it up really tightly into a small square. So pick whatever works for you, but I do recommend initially that you elevate your hips. It helps to elevate the hips and have them higher than your knees. This helps to naturally open up the hip sockets. It allows a gentle curve of the lower spine. It allows the heart center to shine, allows the back to be tall and straight. Go ahead and inhale your shoulders up to the ears and then back down onto your back so that you are pulling your shoulder points together on your spine. And allow an open channel of energy to flow from the very bottom of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. Gently inhale and exhale. And just start to grow your breath from the base all the way to the top. As you breathe, turn your attention to the third eye. Draw your attention inward. Concentrate on an intention you would like to set today. Our class today is focused on Manipura, that is the sacral chakra. And it is in this chakra that we establish intention and that we see it through. Inhale your hands up. And exhale them out and down. Keeping the length in your spine, inhale your hands up. And then exhale them down. One more inhale up. And then exhale down. Let's create a nice side stretch to begin to open up our body. So placing our left hand on the mat, bring our right hand overhead, stretching from our right hip all the way to the tips of our fingers. Draw your right shoulder back a little bit. Shine your heart center towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to look up at your hand or look up at the ceiling. One more inhale, reach your hand. And on the exhale, drop your hand to the right, bringing your left hand out and over. Creating a long stretch from your left hip all the way to your left fingertips. And maybe again, you want to look up at the ceiling, look up at your hand, draw your left shoulder back and shine your heart center up to the ceiling. One more inhale and reach. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Let's engage in a gentle twist. We're going to do a lot of midsection work today because we are focusing on this middle section of the body, the Manipura. This is the part of the body that generates heat. This is a gentle routine, but we will generate a little bit of heat today. Go ahead and turn to your right, placing your right hand behind you, left hand somewhere on your right leg. You can be grabbing your knee if you're able to reach that far, although this time of the morning your spine might feel a little bit tight. So I'm just grabbing kind of the top of my thigh. This pillow that I'm sitting on was made by my friend in my yoga teaching class, and it has pockets. So I'm sticking my hand on one side in the pocket as I draw my right shoulder back, bringing my left shoulder forward, generating my motion from the center of my core. One more inhale. And on your exhale, return to neutral, and let's go to the other side. I'm going to find another pocket, placing my hand on top of my left thigh, drawing the crown of my head up to the sky. As I draw my left shoulder back and bring my right shoulder forward, generating the motion from the center of my core. One more inhale. On the exhale, go ahead and return back to neutral. Let's go ahead. I'm going to remove the bolster because it's harder to do forward folds when I'm sitting on a bolster. You are free to stay up on your blanket, free to stay up on your blocks or your bolster, whatever works for you. Let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. I'm sitting with both of my sit bones in firm contact with the floor. Go ahead and inhale your heart center forward. And on the exhale, go ahead and roll your spine backward into space. This is cat. Inhale into cow, drawing your heart center forward, shoulders back. And then on the exhale, draw your belly button up against your spine as you curl your back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, draw your heart center forward. And then exhale, draw your spine back against the wall. Go ahead and walk your hands forward and reach as far forward as feels comfortable to you. This is our first opening of our hips and our lower spine this morning, so be gentle. Breathe into whatever it is you're feeling. You can drop down to your elbows if you prefer that experience. On your inhale, go ahead and rise up. Let's change the orientation of our feet. I'm going to take my right foot and place it behind my left foot. So my right foot is against the inside of my pelvis. My left foot is on the outside. Again, go ahead and walk your hands forward. We are stretching out the other hip. In yoga, we try to do all things equally. Yoga means, in its essence, it means to balance. This is a gentle hatha flow. Hatha also means balance. And as you fold forward over your legs, it's always helpful to remind yourself to draw your ears away from your shoulders, shoulders away from your ears. This encourages lengthening of the spine, encourages opening up of your shoulders and your neck area. On your inhale, go ahead and rise up. And let's find our way to tabletop position. So in tabletop position, we will go ahead and start again in the cat-cow. So on the inhale, go ahead and rise your heart center up, rise your hips up. And then on your exhale, go ahead and curl your spine up to the sky, drawing your chin down, drawing your shoulders down, drawing your back up. Inhale, reverse all of that, dropping the belly, pulling your heart center forward and up. And then exhale, reverse all of that. Inhale, drop the belly, rise up your hip bones, rise up your heart center. And then on the exhale, go ahead and curl your spine up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Let's draw the heart center up. Draw the shoulders back as far as you can. And then exhale, reverse that. Let's go ahead and stay up on our knees and go into what we call puppy dog pose. So go ahead and just walk your hands forward, encouraging a nice stretch all along the front of your body. Keeping your hips nice and high. You can have your toes tucked, you can have your toes down. I find it easier when the toes are tucked. And this is our first shoulder opener of the day. Very gently, go ahead and start to walk your hands backwards, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders again. And let's walk our hands to the right. So we're basically just curling our body, keeping our hips stationary. And right now my hands are facing the wall to my right, and they are together. My left body is curled, stretched, or rather extended, and my right body is curled. So it's like I'm creating a letter C, going to the right with my body. My feet are still tucked. My hips are still high up in space. And then let's go ahead and walk our hands to the other side. So we're curling over to the left now. And so what you will see here, my hips are still in space. My toes are still tucked. My hands are together, facing the wall to my left, extending my right side body as I crunch my left side body. Kind of a fun way to open up the side bodies this morning. And then let's go ahead and kind of do our first strengthening poses again. So I want, of the day. So I want you to drop to your elbows. I want you to take your left foot back. Go ahead and draw your belly button up against your spine. Draw your shoulder blades down. So your right knee is on the floor, your hips are up high in the air, and your left foot is extended behind you. Go ahead and move that leg to the left. So we're just going to move it back and forth to encourage some strengthening of our core muscles and of our legs. So my foot is behind me now. On the inhale, I go to the left. And then exhale to the back. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the back. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the back. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the back. Let's do that 3 more times. Bring your knee back to join your other knee. Go ahead and remember again to draw your shoulders down your spine, pull your belly button up against the spine. Put your right foot behind you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring your foot to the right. And exhale to behind. Inhale to the right. Exhale 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 behind. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale behind. Inhale to the right. Exhale behind. And 1 more inhale to the right. Exhale behind. Go ahead and return your right knee to join your left. Rise up in your tabletop position. Place your big toes together. Spread your knees wide and sit back in child's pose. And go ahead and extend out. Take your right hand and thread it underneath your left hand, and encouraging a twist, placing your right shoulder on the floor. You're still in child's pose, but now you're opening up the hips a little bit more and stretching out the back of your right shoulder. Go ahead and rise up. So place your right hand, take your left hand and thread it underneath your shoulder. Same thing, laying across your left shoulder, looking to your right. One more inhale. And then exhale, rise up. Go ahead and extend one more time in that child's pose, reaching your hands far out in front of you. Exhaling. One more inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and move forward into Sphinx Pose. So place your hands on the floor, legs out behind you, and lower your hips. So right now we are sitting, or laying on the floor rather, with our shoulders clipped underneath, our elbows clipped underneath our shoulders, drawing our shoulder blades down our spine, ears, and lots of space between our ears and our shoulders. So drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And go ahead and rise up your heart center as you continue that movement of the shoulders down and back. This will strengthen your lower back muscles. This is a wonderful exercise for anybody that has low back pain. It forces the sacroiliac joints to move into proper alignment. It strengthens all of your muscles in the lower and middle spine. If you have any discs that tend to herniate, some people do. Some people have very severe herniations. This encourages those discs to move back into their position between the vertebrae. So this is a common exercise that you might find for backs in physical therapy. Go ahead and lower down. Now we're going to do that same thing with Cobra. So we're going to place our hands where our elbows were, right underneath our shoulders. On the inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears and back down your spine. As you rise up your heart center, pulling your elbows against your ribs, and then exhale down. Inhale, bring your shoulders up and down as you bring your elbows into your rib cage, rising up your heart center, and then exhale down. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears, shoulder blades together on your spine, bringing your elbows against your ribs as you rise up, and then exhale down. Placing your forehead on the floor, put your legs together, point your toes, zip up your legs. This is a common exercise you might find in Pilates. I want you on the inhale to just raise up your legs in one motion, moving the energy from your hips, keeping your legs as straight as you can. Exhale, lower that down. Inhale, rise your legs up, keeping them zipped together. Try to keep them as straight as you can, generating the energy from your hips. Lower that back down. Inhale, rise your legs up, keeping them zipped together, toes pointed, legs straight as possible. Motion comes from the hips. Exhale, lower that back down. Inhale, rise your hips up, generating the motion from your hips, legs straight, toes pointed. And then lower them back down. Let's do that one more time for good measure. It's so good for the lower back. Inhale, rise up your legs. And then exhale them back down. Go ahead and move back into child's pose. Keep your legs together as we move back. We're just stretching out our lower spine gently. Your hands can remain forward in the position they were in. And let's do this back and forth motion a few times. So on the inhale, move forward, bend your elbows into your ribs and lower down. On your exhale, lift up out like a push-up and move back into that child's pose. Inhale, moving forward, elbows to ribs as you lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise up and exhale backwards. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale backwards into that child's pose. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise up. And then move back on the exhale into that child's pose. One more inhale, moving forward. And then exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhale, push into the push-up. And then exhale back into child's pose. Moving forward into hands and knees, lower back down again. And this time, we're going to focus a little bit more on the back. I want you to have your hands out like spiders, tenting them. So your elbows are up in the air, drawing your shoulder blades together on your spine. Go ahead and rise up into Cobra with these spider tented hands. And then exhale back down. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale back down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale back down. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale back down. Go ahead and place your elbows underneath your shoulders again. I'm moving a little forward on my mat because I've managed to scoot back. Go ahead, tuck your toes, straighten out your legs, and pull your hips off the floor into a little bit of a plank. This is some exertion, not as gentle as we want, but we want to create some heat in the belly. Let's do 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then exhale, lower that back down. Very nice. Go ahead and move again back into child's pose. You've done a little bit of exertion. You've done some shoulder work. You've done some back work. You've done some ab work. You deserve to have a little bit of nice stretch and relaxation. Very nice. Let's rise up. Why don't we meet in the center of our mat on top of our knees? So we're standing right now on the knees. Take your right foot and place it out to the right side straight. So your leg is straight, your toes are pointed forward. We're going to do some back and forth with the gate pose. That's become like a favorite for me to add to our floor routines in the morning. So first I want you to place your left hand on the floor about 14 inches away from your left leg. Using your right hand, encourage your right hip bones to face the ceiling. So we're opening up the hip by pushing our hips slightly forward, drawing our right shoulder back, and allowing our right hip bone to shine towards the ceiling. Go ahead and raise your hand up and draw it overhead, drawing your right hand or your right arm alongside your right ear. Feel that wonderful stretch all along from your ankle all the way to your wrist, really stretching out your right side body. And just enjoy that stretch. And just relish in it. Open up your shoulder more if you want to. Now on your inhale, go ahead and rise up, creating warrior 2 arms with both of your arms. So your arms are out on either side, parallel to the floor. And then continue that motion as you allow your right arm to rest on your left leg. And your left arm can be overhead, so left arm alongside your left ear, or it can be facing the ceiling, but you do increase the stretch a little bit if you place it alongside your left ear. And this is called gate pose. And again, just enjoy that wonderful, wonderful stretch. One of the things I'm finding is that our sacroiliac joints and our lower back feel better and are more stable when we have greater flexibility along our waist. Let's go ahead and reverse that order. We're going to go back and forth at our own pace now, just back and forth. And you do it at your own pace. You don't have to do it at my pace, but we're just going to go back and forth, encouraging the body to have strength in the core, gentle strength, and flexibility in our side bodies. Keeping our hips absolutely stationary as we do this. Let's do it 2 more times. Two more times is both sides. Both sides 2 times. Here's our final time going into gate. And here's our final time going into that supported side angle pose. Go ahead and rise up into warrior 2 arms. Place your hands on your hips and bring that right knee to join the left. If you find it is difficult to be up on your knee like that, you are welcome to place a blanket underneath it to cushion it. Take your left leg out to your left. Your outside edge of your foot is sealed onto the floor. Your toes are pointed forward. Take this moment to remind yourself about the alignment principles to protect your lower back by drawing your belly button into the spine. Placing our hands out to the sides, go ahead and drop down into what we call that supported side plank, drawing our right hand alongside our right ear, allowing our heart center to open up, pushing our hips slightly forward so that we can open up our hips and allow our left hip bone to be closest to the ceiling. So we're stacking our hips, if you will. And again, just get into this gentle stretch. Feel it from your ankle all the way to your wrist, but a beautiful stretch all along your waistline. Go ahead and rise up, warrior 2 arms, and then go to the other side to start that gate pose on the left side, resting your left hand on your left leg. As you curl to the left, stretching out your right side, allowing your right arm to extend along your right ear, drawing your right shoulder slightly back. And again, just enjoy that stretch. Very nice. Now just start going back and forth at your own pace. And we'll just do this a few times, 5 or 6 times. One more time. And then let's return back, placing our hands on our hips. Bring that left knee down. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. I heard a noise downstairs. Maybe my cat's downstairs. I'm not sure. He spends his nights down there, and he always wants to come back up in the morning, but I let him out this morning. So I didn't think that any doors or windows were open down there. So maybe he's back inside the house. I don't know. Edgar Allan Poe, that's his name. So let's go ahead and sit back on our bum, both of our sit points, our sit bones in firm contact with the floor. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. And then just lean back into boat pose. Pulling your belly button up against the spine as you draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then go ahead and sit up, fold over your legs. Go ahead and sit back again, or sit up tall again. Before we sit back, draw your belly button into the spine. As you roll back onto the tops of your hips and away from your sit bones slightly, pulling your shoulders down and away from your ears onto your back, engaging your core muscles. You might be shaking, and that's okay. Inhale, rise up, fold over your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale back, pulling your belly button in against the spine as you pull your shoulder blades down and back. My hands are just sitting on my thighs. They're not really doing anything. All the work is coming from the core. And then go ahead and sit up. Fold over your legs. And although normally my gentle yoga is on the floor, I'm going to have us stand today because I was thinking it might be nice to just encourage some gentle twisting and gentle flowing movements this morning. So standing in your Tadasana. So if we look at Tadasana, my hips and my shoulders are in alignment with one another, and I'm moving my head back in space a little bit. So a nice, strong, tall, standing position. So that is your Tadasana. What I want you to do now is, out of this position, just start to turn to the left and the right and allow your hands to go with you. So don't overdo it. Your spine is still waking up for the day, but we're just encouraging kind of a gentle twisting back and forth of the spine at the way that we're able to do it. It's kind of fun thinking of your arms like they're ribbons. Our morning calisthenics, if you will. Okay, let's just do one more of those. Return back to neutral. And then let's do the same thing we were doing with the gate pose, where we alternate stretching out the sides of the body. So leave our left hand on the left side, take the right hand over. On the exhale, drop that right hand down, take the left hand over. Don't go too far. We're just gently stretching out the sideways. And then let's continue that theme of that motion by spreading our legs wide. Okay, so we're creating a star position with our legs. Our toes are pointed out to the corner of our mat. Tuck our tailbone under, pull our belly button in, and then bend your legs. Okay, so this is called goddess pose, this position of our legs. While you're in this pose, you've got your hands resting on top of your thighs up by the crease of your hips. Pull your shoulders back in space. And then let's just sink down first into goddess. And on the inhale, rise up. Straightening the legs. Exhale, drop to goddess. Inhale, rise up, straighten the legs. Exhale, drop to goddess. Inhale, rise up, straighten the legs. Exhale, drop to goddess. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop to goddess, remembering to trail your knees towards your toes on the outside of your toes, so your pinky toes. Inhale, rise up. And then one more exhale, drop to goddess legs. Stay in this position. Place your hands out in warrior two arms, and then let's do that back and forth like we did as we were standing, treating our arms like ribbons. This is encouraging some strength of the legs. It is generating some heat. Keep your hips still. as you stretch your left and then stretch to the right. Arms are following naturally and slowly. Let's just do 2 more of those. So 1 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Stand up. And then let's place our feet forward, keeping our hands on our sits bones, placing our thumbs right against, did I say sits bones? I meant to say sacroiliac joints. Placing our thumbs right against the sacroiliac joints, pulling our shoulders back in space, imagining that our elbows are coming together. Go ahead and just fold forward. Fold forward as far as feels good to you. Right now, I'm only doing a half fold. So I'm not bringing my heart center all the way to the floor. I'm just creating like a modified letter L with my body. And then you can allow your body to gently descend. If you feel that you are engaging your lower spine, pull your shoulders back even further to straighten out that back. And you can also bend your legs slightly. But I don't want you to go too far. This is just morning yoga. Go ahead and rise up. Allow your hands down. Inhale your hands up into space. And then exhale them out and back to your sacroiliac joints, placing those thumbs on your joints, drawing your shoulders back, drawing your elbows back. Inhale, rise the heart center up. And then on the exhale, go ahead and fold again. Again, don't go all the way down. Just go part way down. Go to where you feel the edge. If your body says it wants to go further, then allow your body to go further. It's okay to listen to your body and listen to what it needs. Some people are more open this time of the day than others. But if you feel it in your lower back, please back off. Just isolate this stretch so that you are feeling it along the backs of your legs. If you feel it in the lower spine, start to straighten out the back, draw your heart center up, draw your shoulders back and down. And the inhale, go ahead and rise up. Exhale, drop your hands. Inhale, rise them up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring them out to the sides. Placing those thumbs again back on your sacroiliac joints. Drawing your shoulders down and back. Drawing your elbows together on your back. Inhale, rise your heart center up. And then on the exhale, fold again. Remembering, we don't want you to feel this in your back. We just want you to feel this on the back of your legs. So if you feel it in your back, keep your heart center up. Keep drawing your elbows together. Keep drawing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands out and up. And then exhale your hands down. Ah. So isn't that lovely to have a little bit of movement? Let's place our feet together. Let's bend our legs. So we've got our legs together, ankles together, feet together. Bend our legs. So it's kind of like we're going into that skier position or chair position. But all we're really going to do in this position is kind of hinge and rise, hinge and rise. So bring your hands up as if you're in chair. And then exhale, fold over your legs, bringing your hands backwards. Inhale, rise up, bringing your torso off of your legs. And then exhale, fold down. Try to keep your hips stationary in space. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold over your legs and bring your arms behind you. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, down. Inhale, rise up one more time. And then exhale down. And if you want to, you could straighten out your legs and do a little bit of a modified forward fold. My legs are still slightly bent. Dropping the crown of my head to the floor, allowing my body to rest across my legs. And then go ahead and let's spread our legs wide. And then drop our hips as we move into Malasana. Garland Pose, it's called, sometimes called Yogi Squat. I'll show you what it looks like. It's hard to see clearly because I've got on dark pants against this dark mat. Scott bought me this mat. I love this mat. I think it's the most amazing thing, but I didn't realize how large of a collection of black yoga pants I own. So my goal this year is to diversify my yoga pants collection and start to add some lighter colors and patterns, which will make seeing me in these poses on this beautiful mat much easier. But I love this mat because I can seamlessly move around the mat and show you guys my positioning without all this effort. A lot of yoga teachers will do 2 yoga mats and cross them over. I tried doing that and I find the mats move. So this is my solution, is a nice, big, beautiful, round mat. All righty, so in Malasana, if you want to now, you can just integrate some gentle movement. I'm just moving my legs back and forth as I stay in this position, just opening up the hips, opening up the lower spine. Some cultures sit in this position for hours at a time. And not everybody can get their hips as low to the ground as I'm able to get mine. A lot of people will just sit, not even resting their elbows on their legs. So this is really just a wonderful, wonderful pose. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a twist in it. So go ahead and bring your left upper arm inside of your left knee and place your hand on the floor. It can be directly in front. It can be out to the side. You pick your hand position that works best for you. And as you are gently nudging that left leg open, go ahead and rise your right hand up to the ceiling. So you don't even have to have your arm straight. Mine is bent. My left arm is bent. My hand is on the floor, but I'm really just using the arm to anchor that leg open just a little bit. And I feel this stretch, honestly, on the right side. So it's doing a nice right side body stretch. Go ahead and bring your hands back to heart center, gently nudging your legs apart using your elbows. And then go ahead and take your upper right arm, put it inside of your right knee, place your right hand on the floor, and then urging that right leg to open up a little bit, go ahead and rise your left hand up to the ceiling. And it might be a different sensation on each side. I have a shoulder injury that I got when I was 14. So this left arm does move a little differently than my right arm. Range of motion is normal, but go ahead and return to heart center. But I can feel how they move differently. So everybody's different, and we need to honor those differences, respect those differences, and do our best to create equanimity or equality on each side of our body. Okay, go ahead and drop down to the floor. And I'm going to encourage you to lay down. Bring your knees into the chest. Place your hands out on either side. And we're just going to go back and forth. I want you to be careful to not place a lot of stress on your shoulders. So don't keep your legs straight, keep them bent. And we're just going to use the strength of our core muscles to move our knees back and forth. So on the inhale, drop your legs to the right, or the exhale. On the inhale, using the strength of your core muscles, bring them up to center. And on the exhale, drop them to the left. On the inhale, bring them up to the center. Exhale, drop to the right. Inhale, bring them up to the center. Exhale, drop to the left. Inhale, bring them up to the center. Exhale, drop to the right. Inhale, bring them up to the center. Exhale, drop to the left. Inhale, bring them up to the center. Exhale, drop to the right. Inhale, bring them up to the center. And then exhale, drop to the left. Inhale, bring them up to the center. And we'll finish it there. Draw your knees into your chest. Very nice. Let's make circles with our knees as we lay on our back here. Do a little bit of massage of the lower spine, massage of the sacroiliac joints. You can reverse your circle. Now I'm going to show you a new way to do pigeon today. I'm going to go against my wall here. This should easily keep me in the camera view. So lay down with your feet, with your toes against the wall. Go ahead and bring your feet up to the wall. If you need to move a little closer, you can, but right now, my knees are at a 90-degree angle, my hips are at a 90-degree angle. Take your right knee out to the right and cross your left ankle over your left knee. So if you have a wall, go and find that wall. You can just follow my voice. Now go ahead and take your right hand and push it against your knee, the inside of your knee, drawing your knee closer to the wall and further out to the right. Tip your tailbone down to encourage a stretch. Now, if you want to increase that stretch even more, go ahead and point your toes by bringing your heel away from the wall. Bring your right toes back, bringing your baby toes in the direction of your knee to protect your knee. You might find one side is different than the other. My right side is always tighter, and my right knee always feels a little bit of a pinch when I start this out because my right hip is not as open as my left hip. And so I work with that. I'm gentle with that. I'm careful with that. I'm respectful of that difference. Now, if you want to further increase this stretch, you can come out of it and just get a little bit closer to the wall. So you can have less than 90 degrees. You can have, say, an 80-degree angle. All right. So still working that out by tilting your tailbone towards the floor, flexing your right foot and bringing your right toes back in the same direction as your knee, pushing your right knee away from the body. And then if you want to increase that stretch, bring your heel away from the wall, pointing your toes, keeping your toes against the wall. But keep all of that alignment while you're doing that so that you can increase that stretch along your right hip. This is a very nice and gentle way to open up your hips in the morning. Beautiful support of your lower back as you stretch out that piriformis. That's that triangular shaped muscle that inserts into your sacrum and stretches out to the outside of your hip. I believe it connects to the trochanter and ultimately connects with your iliotibial band and your hamstring connects underneath it. All right, go ahead and release that. Place your right leg against the wall. Take your left leg, cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Okay, push your left leg outward towards the wall. It might be a different feeling there. Okay, flex your left foot, bringing your left toes back towards your left knee. Tilt your tailbone towards the floor. That might be your stretch right there. If you want to increase it, you can start to move your heel away from the wall, keeping your toes against the wall. Again, continuing that pressure against your knee, drawing your knee towards the wall and away from your body. We spend a lot of time sitting. This is a wonderful counter stretch to sitting. And then I have a real treat for you. If you have your yoga block, having done this beautiful stretch, the outside of our hips, of our piriformises, you now take a yoga block, place it between your knees while your knees are still. They can be up on the wall, or you can move backwards and have them on the floor. And you can find the height or the width of the block that works for you. I'm going to place mine so not at its widest point, but its second widest point. And I'm going to place it in between my knees, and then I'm going to squeeze them together. So this allows you to start to recenter your sacroiliac joints and place them in proper position if they tend to be mobile like mine are. And when you do this, you might also feel an adjustment take place in your pubis area. That is completely normal. But continue to engage that pressure against the block to set those joints. And I'm going to actually place mine now on the least width portion, move it down a little bit lower on my sides, and squeeze against it that way. So this is a lot of inward motion. It can be stressful just because it's a lot of muscle engagement of these micro muscles in the hips. But oh, it's very good for your sacroiliac joint. Okay, we're going to remove that block. Find your way into Savasana. So go ahead and lay down in Savasana. You can have your feet on the floor if you prefer. Go ahead and wiggle your hips a little bit in upper space and then drop them back down so that each of your sacroiliac joints is in firm contact with the mat. You might adjust your shoulders in a way that makes it more comfortable for you so that you can create space in your upper back and in your neck. Go ahead and inhale and exhale. If you want, you can drop your legs in Baddha Konasana, which is bound angle pose, placing both of the soles of your feet together, allowing your knees to descend to the floor, butterflying your legs open. That's another option you have available to you. Or if you feel ready, you can extend your legs all the way out and really go into that full Savasana with our hands facing the ceiling, our palms open and facing the ceiling, our arms alongside our body, our shoulders descended down to the floor. As you inhale, I want you to start to think about the different parts of your body. Let's start with our feet this time. Exhale and tell all your toes and your arch, the top of your foot and your ankle to fully relax. Inhale. On your exhale, command your shin and your calf to fully relax. Relax that skin on the back of your knee. Inhale. And on your exhale, relax the tops of your thighs, the inside of your thighs. Inhale. Fully relaxing your hips and your lower spine, allowing your hips to sink deeply into your mat. Inhale. On your exhale, relax all of your midsection muscles and the muscles of your middle back. Inhale. Drawing your attention to your ribs and the lower part of your chest. Allow the floor to fully support your rib cage. Inhale. Relaxing all 10 of your fingers, relaxing your hands and your wrists and your forearms. Inhale. Drawing your attention to your chest and your shoulders, allowing your shoulders to fall down to the mat, relaxing your upper arms. Inhale. Relaxing your front of your neck, your back of your neck, your jaw. Allowing your jaw to be slightly slack, mouth a little bit open. Inhale. On your exhale, relax all of the muscles of your face. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. One more inhale. And relax all of the skin on top of your scalp. Relax your hair. And just lay here quietly in Savasana for the next 5 minutes. And while you are quietly laying down, I will play some gentle music for you and bring you in at the end of that music playing. That was kind of short, but sweet, and brings us precisely to the 7 o'clock hour. I want to thank you for this time that we have spent together. So go ahead and stretch out the body, reaching your hands overhead, reaching your toes far away from the body, and stretch the whole front of your body. And then release that. Roll over to your right side. Roll into a gentle ball, placing your head on top of your right arm to cushion it like a pillow. And just lay there for a moment. And then using the strength of your arms, go ahead and rise up into a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed. Go ahead and bring your hand to heart center. Bow your head. You've made it to the middle of your week. May this routine, which focused a little bit on your middle section, but was still gentle, may it remind you of the fire that resides within us all, of the intention that we can all set, sorry, and of the strength and resolve to meet that intention. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. The light in me joins the light in you. Namaste. I am very sorry. Tickle in my throat. Well, that concludes our yoga today. Take on the day and have a wonderful rest of your week.